Hi everyone. So welcome to another live stream here. Today we are collaborating with GDSC, and this GDSC is quite special because why don't I ask Sonal to start talking? Go ahead, Sonal.
Hello, everyone. A warm evening to all present here in a little cold weather. So, we all have gathered here for a seminar hosted by the GDSC. And let me now introduce you to what GDSC actually is. Students from all undergraduate and graduate programs with an interest in learning coding, programming are welcome here. By joining GDSC, students grow their knowledge in a peer to peer learning environment and build solutions for local businesses and their communities. GDSC BIT Deoghar gives you an opportunity to explore various technical fields and develop both skills and personality during this voyage of journey. You will meet developers all around the world who will help you excel in various fields. Today, we have Mr. Praveen Kumar Purushothaman as our guest speaker. He is from London and working for a US based investment banking. Originally from Chennai, he is a full stack developer specializing in JavaScript technologies. Praveen, for sure, is a person with multiple talents. He even holds his name in Guinness Book of World Records. And on the other hand, he's a YouTuber, author, blogger, hackathon hunter, and was a most valuable professional expert from Microsoft. We'll get to know interesting facts about web development and MERN. Your attendance remains super mandatory here for certification, and the link for the same can be dropped anytime during the session. So please stay tuned. So the stage is all yours, Praveen, and Amisha will be accompanying you from here on.
Good evening, Praveen. This is Amisha.
Okay, hey, Amisha. Let me try to get you on the stage as well. So just hold on. Okay, I couldn't find Amisha. Yes, I found you. Sorry about that. Amisha, you are on stage.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Praveen.
All right, cool. So today we are going to do something really cool. And since Amisha is going to be here, Amisha, do you have any ideas of a full stack web application that we are going to develop today? So whatever you say or whatever the students say or the people who are watching says, we are going to develop it. And then we can see how easy it is in the MERN stack world. MERN, the React.js and Node.js language stack, it has got a lot of demands in the IT industry. So in case if you are planning to get into full stack web development, MERN stack is one of the best thing you can look at. So yeah,
that's amazing and great to know.
That's nice. So any ideas? So we are all banking on you, Amisha. What kind of an app should we build today?
Well, I have asked my colleagues and they have advised me to give the idea of Google Notes. Can we go on it?
Google Notes. Great. What does that do?
Yeah. It just writes the note. It put the alarm and it writes the notes and it figures out when and what we have to do. My colleagues and everyone have given me this idea. So would you proceed with it so that they will know it much more? And
okay, I need to first understand what exactly is this Google Notes, which is indeed a new concept for me. I haven't heard of Google Notes yet. I know that there is something called as Google Tasks, but I'm not sure about Google Notes. So let's try exploring that part quickly. Let me try first sharing the screen and see if there is anything like Google Notes I can find online. So I believe everyone is able to see the screen, right?
Yes, it's completely visible.
Yes.
Excellent. Is it Keep? Is it Google Keep?
Yeah, it is Google Keep, and it has various things like it all holds all the note part, it all holds the drive part, Gmail part, and everything. Yeah,
that's interesting. I've never used Google Keep yet. So it does have a note and it has a reminder. Okay, but this seems to be a huge application for a beginner level. which we can think of. So what should we do another thing or something like that? I mean, it might be too much for a beginner perspective, right?
We can make a to-do list.
To-do list again. All right, that works. So let's have a quick look at what people say in the chat. So we have got a lot of people in chat messaging. That's nice to see. Hey everyone, nice to find a lot of people. And yes, we have got some messages as well from in the Zoom. So notes taking app, portfolio web. It's like to-do list. Okay, let's start with a to-do list, which is going to be a full stack to-do list, like from the starting till the ending. So I was telling about MERN stack, where there will be a different M, which I'm going to explain in a few seconds. But before that, for those people who are meeting me for the first time, so hey everyone, I would like to give a quick introduction with a small website, because I'm a full stack developer, and everyone who is here who want to be a full stack developer, try to create something like this. That is the first thing I would suggest doing it. Like, I have put all the different roles I play. Like, I'm a cat lover, I'm a cook, I'm a mentor, and almost all the ways you can stalk me. So that is here. And apart from this, this is just a basic website where you have got a simple portfolio. And what I would like you all to do is try creating something very simple like this. Okay, it has got only the needed information. Like, for example, my birth date might be needed, but not the year. There is this phone number and email and other things. And in case if you are all students, you don't have any experience, it's completely fine. Just skip this section. Write something on the education side of things. What did I do? I just copied everything from my university brochure. That's easy, right? So copy pasting is our national kind of, like, what do you say, our easy way of doing things. All these numbers are like using these, they're all made up numbers. This is far bigger, like right now. And yes, portfolio is a great idea. So, but I want you all to do something like this, but try it out yourself. We can have a portfolio session, because portfolio is not a full stack application, full stack web application or something like that. But this is also a good thing to do. One thing which I want you all to do is create a portfolio of yourself for yourself. Like, make sure you have every single, like whatever you do in your lifetime, just put it somewhere. For example, if you take this, I did this particular application like 12 years ago. This is something like 11 years ago. And here's something which I did like 10 years ago. Now you all can see like how I have improved over time. So that is the main thing about having a portfolio ready. And one more thing is, if you are good with any kind of a, let's say, technology or a particular application or something like that, Suryansh, great question. Where to start? Nice. So where to start? Let me answer that in a few seconds. Before that, yes, written communication skills are very important, whether you are a student or a professional, or you are starting to become professional. So make sure you are starting to work on your written communication skills by starting with this one. So you have got a new learning today. Let's say you're learning something from me, and you wanted to, what should I say? You wanted to explain the whole concept to a 5-year-old kid or a grandma. They should be able to easily understand. So you can use storytelling methods or something like that, and you should be able to explain them. Hello. And yes, please put your...
That's really nice of you.
Thank you. And this is one thing which I wanted to tell everyone. And finally, okay, this is what people talk behind my back, and here's how you can talk behind my back. So that's about my simple web portfolio. I want everyone to do this. And one more thing is, what I want you to do is, this is my current development environment. This is very important for working on these things. Sorry, those who are writing in chat messages, I don't understand the language. If you can write it in English, that would be really helpful. Okay, so if you use Praveen Dev environment. And by the way, one more thing which I wanted to tell is, those people who are happy to, who are extremely interactive here, asking great questions or something like that, it would be nice if you do that, because I'll be giving out a lot of goodies. A lot of people might know who are watching my YouTube streams. I'll be happy to give a lot of digital goodies and sometimes stickers and t-shirts as well. So don't miss that. And yes, that's something which I wanted to tell. So with my development environment, what machine I'm using, etc. So I'm using a modified Mac OS machine. It's very old, and this is what is there in my machine. So basically, I'm using a Google Chrome browser because that is going to help you with a lot of things. How many of you know HTML? So currently, we will be working on a lot of technologies, which is HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and other things. Then we will go with React and Node.js. So if I could answer a couple of questions, let's say, yes, Ayushi, you're right. It is a mixture of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And the other things that we will be working on would be React for single page applications and Node.js for the backend. That is what we will be doing today. Okay. And any questions you are getting in between, I'll try to make sure everything is very clear here. And that's nice, Suryansh. 70% JavaScript, not React and Node. Okay, you are the perfect audience for this one. So a lot of people have got no clue about React and Node. That's completely fine. I'm gonna get a basic idea and understanding for you by the end. We could see a lot of comments from YouTube side of things as well. So Tanjil is asking an awesome question. Can we build something unique today? So where is this Amisha? Amisha, what shall we say? So Tanjil, good one. But at the same time, since this is going to be a full stack application, it is going to be front end as well as back end. So you will be learning about service calls and other things as well. So hi for everyone, every others. And by the way, it is completely, like for the beginners side of things, because this one, even if we are going for the full stack application, it has got a lot of things that will be kind of crazy or like very tough for people who have no idea about React and Node. So we are going to try to help them out as well to understand React and Node as well. So Tanjil, we will be using MongoDB. No, we are not going to use MongoDB. There is another thing for M. That is what I'm going to tell in a few moments. We'll be using Express.js, React.js, and Node.js. I need to get out of Express.js because a lot of people have said about not Express.js is not really a good idea because there are like so many good things out there, and that is something which I need to work on as well. So yes, we can try creating sites using animations as well. That's another idea for next live stream. React would be great to explore. Yes, we will be using React. Django is the backend, so I'm not. Yeah, go on. Sorry.
Why not we make a bookstore, library, or stock keeping app, or something like to-do list?
Okay, shall we do a small library kind of an application instead of to-do list? Great, that's a good idea.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, so basically today we will be creating an application using React.js and Node.js. And we'll be creating a library management application or something like that. So that works. So we can just have, instead of adding to-do lists, we'll be adding books, for instance, for this case. Okay. So that's what we are going to do today. Cool. Everyone happy with that?
We are extremely excited.
Awesome. So that is something which we will do. And yeah, and another thing, don't forget to add me on LinkedIn for more, for in case if you are going to connect with me for any career development or anything related to web development or career development. So here's my LinkedIn LinkedIn link, and go for it. So a lot of people, I could see that they are very beginner in computers and programming languages. That's completely fine. Don't worry about that. And we'll start with the basics of React.js today. So that way you will get an idea of what exactly you need to do. So with respect to the roadmap as well, I don't want to even go with this basic development environment. The main reason, since a lot of people are, yes, Ayushi, this is available. Yeah, a lot of people are new to HTML as well. So what we can do is we can start with a small magic, and then we'll go full-fledged on the application. last couple of minutes, I can leave for asking questions, which you might be able to make use of, so that in case if any questions are there, I'll be more than happy to answer. Ayushi, the link is here. Data set related to data sets. We are going to create data. So we'll be adding data ourselves. It's going to be a library management. You are the librarian, as simple as that. All right. Okay. So since a lot of people are new to HTML and CSS, what I'm going to do is, someone tell me your favorite news channel. Hey, Siddhartha Gudipati. Oh my God. He's from Google. Hey, Sidhu. How are you? Long time, man. It's nice to meet you after a long time. That's nice to, yeah. So he's working at Google as a UX designer. Macha, get me a job in Google, da. All right. Okay. Okay. Linux Tech Tips Republic. Okay, Shubham, I was asking about how should I say? A kind of a news site. So let's go with Republic, because a couple of people said. Let's see if I can open that. Okay, cool. Republic World. So since full stack development is just like a human backend and front end. What do you mean by human here? Okay, let's say we have this particular website, and this is one of the main things, right? I hope this is an image. Yes, it is an image. And who said Republic World? I guess it is Apur Vivek. Okay, so Apur, let's say, Apur, what is your favorite company? Let's make you in the headlines. Apur Vivek was hired by Google. So people who are in Google watching me, don't take it wrong. It's just for fun. Okay. Thanks. He's throwing an awesome party. So if I do this way, you get on the first page of the news. And Apur, we need your picture. So let's say, let's take a random picture of Apur Vivek. I hope you are here somewhere. Who are you in this? Any of your picture? Is the voice lagging? YouTube folks and Zoom folks, can you tell me if my voice is
lagging from your
end? It's fine, right? Okay, cool. Thanks. Okay, let's think this guy is Apurv. And what I'm going to do is, if Apurv, you are this person, it is very easy for us to, modify this particular thing where there is a kind of an image here. And I wish I could get your original image. Look at this. So you are on the front page of, the republicworld.com or something like that. So this is one simple way to show the power of Google DevTools. This is going to be there only for a testing purpose. If I refresh this page, it will go away. The main reason why people use this is to see what kind of Apur, don't forget to take a screenshot and tell every friend of yours saying that you came in the first page of this news website. Okay, so this is mainly for helping you to understand how much lines of text you can put here, etc. So if you see this, it can accommodate up to 3 lines. So this is something which you can work on it and then go to the backend code and then change it. Also, you can do all these padding and margin things. So in case if you're putting margin 10 pixels, what is happening, all these things you can try it out, and then back in your source code, you can make it work. So this is the main thing about it. And the moment you refresh the page, it's going to go off. And by the way, a lot of people are scamming using this technique. So don't get into that. Don't get, how would you say in English? Someone please help me. I'm kind of out of words. Don't get fooled by others. Yeah. Yeah. Don't get into people who use these kind of techniques to get scammed or something like that. Yes. Thanks. Thank you. Okay, cool. So that's the reason I'm using Google Chrome for all my development environment. And Oh my God. Thank you so much, Sid. And yes, there are like loads and loads of other people. Okay, fine. So otherwise, these things, I'm using also this thing called as React Dev Tools. This is going to help you with what yes, Rakesh, you can do that. But it needs more patience, more ideas. I don't want to say what you asked for it, but no, I'm not going to say it on YouTube. But yes, that is possible. Okay, so these are a couple of extensions that I'm using, and the main extension that helps us in our React application is this particular thing called React Dev Tools, and you can download it from Chrome Store, Google Chrome Store, and it is offered by Facebook. It has got 3 million plus users, and it is called React Developer Tools. Okay, so that's something. And here's Zoom, that is mainly we use for all the communication purpose. Who wants to go back in time? How many of you want to go back in time using a time machine or whatever it is? Okay, Shivam says me. You're the first person. Lovely, Anand. Everyone. It is impossible, Asuryans. There is something called as Git. Git allows me to go back in time in my code and make some changes or branch it out or something like that. So Git is a version control system. A lot of version control systems are going to help you with this one. So we have got other things, but main stuff that we want is Node.js and Visual Studio Code. Node.js is the one which is going to help you run JavaScript applications out of the browser. And only place where JavaScript works is on your browser's console. And Git says nothing is impossible. Yes. And Visual Studio Code. So we have got a couple of like 8 different plugins that I have got. I'm just going to show you how my VS Code thing looks like. So this is my VS Code's environment, and I've got these same 8 extensions. This is just the theme, and we have got ES7 React Redux snippets. How many of you are lazy just like me? Who's lazy? So I'm lazy, and yes, so similar to me, a lot of people are lazy. So what does this do? So a lot of people are saying, right, give me an easy way to start with React. So I'm just setting the language. If I want a React class component, I don't know what to do, what to write. See, boom, that's done. I want a React arrow functional component with export. Boom, that's done as well. And if I want a console.log, bam, console.log. So unless the deadline, see, deadlines make you a lot more, faster or something like that, like more responsible. And one more thing which I wanted to show you is using Visual Studio Code, what all things that I can do in simple terms. Let's say you have got, okay, instead of wasting some more time, I'm just going to get another thing done. So let's say we have a application that has got a header, a link, a logo, a navigation bar, etc. So what about the extensions? I'm actually explaining the extensions one by one. Let's say it has got some 4 list items, like 4 links and other things. Awesome, sure, Ashja. So kindly consider this particular HTML document. Okay, this will approximately give you an output of like this. Okay, so you have a HTML document, you have got this header. Okay, this header looks like this. Sorry about my drawing skills, they are very poor. There is a logo here. That is what you see here. This one is this one. And you have got a big nav bar, this thing. And there are like 4 list items. So nav 1, nav 2, nav 3, and nav 4. See, commonly you will be writing a lot of HTML code, right? How long do you think will take for you to write this code? Just 22 lines of code. Please put in your comments. How long do you think it will take for you to write this? So I'm getting answers like 5 minutes. Great. Go on, keep telling the numbers, keep telling the times.
More than 3-4 minutes for sure.
See, even if you use Bootstrap, you have to write this code, right? This code is not available in Bootstrap. I could even say like, let's say instead of logo, I'm going to put Suryansh or something like that. Okay, this title is not available in Bootstrap, something like that. How long? 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 2 minutes. So I could see the minimum time people have added is, yeah, you, even if you make, okay, fine. So people from YouTube, you have said 2 to 3 minutes, and people from here, you have said 2 to 5 minutes, right? There is also one person who said 1 minute, Rakesh Vishwakarma. Great, awesome. So 1 minute to 5 minutes is the duration that was said by everyone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear this drawing, okay? And I'm going to set a timer here. Thanks, Google. It's called stopwatch, I guess. Right? Thank you. So what we'll do is we'll put the stopwatch aside here. I'm going to start a new page, and remember, I'm going to start this and then wait for 5 seconds and then start, so that we can remove the 5 seconds later. Okay. Sure, Vandit, we can do that as well. So what I'm going to do now is, first thing, I put the start. Everyone ready? Timer started. Once it hits 5 seconds, I'll start it. I'll start with, okay, cool. I want to select the HTML as the language. I want the docs type. Doc type is done. Header. There is a H1. There is a link that says logo. I have a navbar. I've got a UL. There are 4 list items, right? 4 list items. A, link, oops, link, 1, 2, 3, 4. Bam. Let's stop it here. 25 seconds. It's done. Is it the same code? Is it the same code? Except this hello is not there. I changed into document. Maybe I could say Asha or something like that. Right. So how many of you know this already? How many of you do not know this already? That is what we will be looking at now. And then I'll tell you what exactly, this is not magic or rocket science and all. We'll be using a lot here now. So Anurag said the correct answer. It is called Emmet. It's not Emmets, it's Emmet. Devraj, no way, it is 10 seconds, man. Okay, I'm just going to quickly teach you what exactly this one is. It's called emmet.io. Emmet.io is built in a lot of different editors. Let's say if I undo this one, this is what I wrote, right? So if I go to jsbin.com, I believe a lot of people might have seen jsbin.com. So if I use this, boom, got this. I start with this. Then I go here. I use this. I got this. Okay. There is something called as jsfiddle.net. A lot of people might also know what jsfiddle is. And we all use VS Code. So VS Code also works. Boom. Then we put this. Bam. That's it. Okay. So every single application, the web application, they have this thing called as Emmet. Let's quickly have a look at the demo. Let's watch a small demo. So the first thing what you need to do is you need to type CSS like abbreviations, and it starts with hash for IDs, a dot for classes, and then more things like, you know, this is a child selector, etc. You got these things. Cool. And then you can also go through these things. So in case if everyone is lazy just like me, I don't want you to like look at the whole documentation, but there is something called as cheat sheet here. So this cheat sheet is going to help you in memorizing a lot. But one thing which I want you all to know is it takes time to memorize everything. It takes practice. So you have got the child selector, which we used, multiplication selector we used, ID class selector we did not use, item numbering we used, sibling selector we used, climb up I did not use, but I used grouping. Exactly. So a lot of people might have got an idea about what it does, but they don't know how exactly we should be using it. Okay, can I get So there are like 64 people watching right now. Can I get everyone to like my video on YouTube, please? Just a small help. All right. Okay. Coming back to what we were working on. The first thing which we were talking about is creating a full stack application. So before that, we talked about the time machine and other things, right? So let's start with the time machine part. So you can go hit the like and then come back. Until then, any questions I'm going to answer. Let me check the YouTube comments as well. Hey, Shivansh, yo. Nice. So, I guess, Amisha, you are still here, right? So was it your first time seeing something like this?
Yeah, that was totally amazing. Yeah, I have seen it for the first time. It feels like just wow.
Awesome.
No comments.
Shubham, congrats, man. Congrats, Shubham Kumar. Okay, cool. Now, the first thing that we are going to do is we need to create a repository. So, oops, sorry. So, about to do. So, this is my GitHub profile. I'm just going to create a public repository for this case. So, creating a repository is very easy. Just click on the new button on that. And let's say we can do GDSC. How much time does it take to learn full stack? Okay, I'll just quickly show you what is there in full stack so that you know what to learn. And then it's you who can decide how long it will take for you to learn something like this. So a full stack development is a combination of both front end and back end. This is the front end roadmap and this is the back end roadmap. If you want to become a front end developer, you need to start with basics of internet. How does internet work? What is HTTP, etc., DNS, etc. Then you have got the main three things of web development, front end development, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And there are other things that you can learn as well. So you would be learning all these things. CSS Grid and Flexbox are very important because that is what people are right now using. And how many of you would like to learn this in a game? How many of you would like to learn using a game? I believe a lot, right? So if you want to learn Flexbox, there is something called as Flexbox Froggy, and there is something called as CSS Grid Garden. These two are games that you can leverage to learn CSS. So CSS Flexbox is one of the most important thing, and the same way CSS Grid System is extremely important as well. So let's say this guy, this is the complete lily pond, and this pond is a flex container. This guy, unfortunately, frog, you're not a living frog, but you are a flex element. So if you want this frog to come to the lily pod, what you need to do is you need to use something like justify content to make the flex work. So if I put center, I could see that this guy is moving in the center. If I put right, there is nothing called right. Oh, wow. What? There is justify content right, but here it is not displayed. Okay. So all you need to do is you need to use flex and there you go. So that's the way you'll be learning Flexbox. And there are like more than 24, almost 24 levels here to learn and master Flexbox. The same way it is grid. There are 28 levels because it is a bit tough to learn. So this is how these two websites work. And these two are awesome games to learn. And coming to other things, the time machine part, version control systems, repo hosting, the time machine hosting services. We have web security knowledge as well. This is not so much important, but you should be aware of all these things. Then you have package managers, which we'll be looking at in a few seconds. NPM and Yarn are like, doing dishum. And then we have got a couple of CSS architecture and preprocessors like SAS, etc. And then we have got other build tools. A lot of things are there. So if you learn all these things, I would say I am good with 70% of this page. So that is my current scenario. And then you have to keep on learning. All these things are getting added let's say every week or every month. A lot of new things are coming up. And coming to the back end, yes, Shubham, this stream is there. It will be available always on YouTube and it is going to be there. But make sure you are staying here because you might get a lot of goodies as well. All right. So in the backend, you need to have the internet knowledge, basic front-end knowledge. Then you will be starting with the OS, operating system, and general knowledge. Then you have to learn a language. I have got 2 languages which I'm good with. One is JavaScript and another thing is PHP. Some people will be very hateful of PHP, but it's all right. So I'm good with JavaScript and PHP. So learn at least 2 language, which is going to help you in a lot of things. And coming to what Shubham says, I want to reach to a point where I can develop my own commercial website and add payments to it. Node.js is JavaScript, Ashutosh. That's my first milestone. All the best, Shubham, for your first milestone. So once you learn a language, which is a programming language, the next thing will be databases. There are different types of databases, NoSQL database and relational database. NoSQL database has got a lot of different types of database: document-oriented database, columnar database, time series database, and real-time database. Very popular ones are the real-time and document, which is MongoDB and Firebase. A lot of people are using Firebase for a crazy number of purposes: authentication, hosting, a lot of things. And you have got relational database where you have got PGSQL, MySQL, MariaDB. MS SQL and Oracle are like super huge. Like, they're used only in the how should I say, production, like the enterprise levels. And then once you learn about databases, then you will be working on APIs. That is what we are going to work today. And then again, web security knowledge here is going to be extremely important, because in case if you get, like, for example, if Shubham is going to start a commercial company or something like a company like that, if you are not careful about web security, your money will all go. Others' money will also go. In turn, they will come and give you slaps. So make sure you're taking a lot of care on the web security. And you have got a lot of other things as well: message brokers, search engines, containerization, and virtualization. So I'm a virtualization guy. I use Vagrant a lot. I couldn't find Vagrant at all here, which is bad. And Docker is very popular. Docker and Kubernetes are very popular. So try to look at that. And you have got a lot of mitigation strategies, WebSockets, web servers, etc. So we'll be using Express.js web server, but that is not displayed here because it is not a production level web server. We'll be using Nginx most probably. Yes, Firebase is extremely good. A lot of people have been using it. And then scaling. So people who are working on cloud computing things, they know what scaling is. So in case if one person uses or 100 people use, you have to give the same output. Okay, now how many of you are ready for the demo? So let's go ahead and start working on this demo thing. Okay, so I'm going to create GDSC bit notes app. No, it's library app, right? Library app. So what we are going to do is creating a simple library app using React and Node as a part of GDSC and Praveen's live stream. So once I do this, the source code will be always available to you. So to have the video content as well as the source code, that is always available. So this is the GitHub's link. So fork it, save it, do whatever. So there are a couple of questions from YouTube as well. It was my first class of yours and I'm very happy and impressed too. Thank you so much, Abhishek Tripathi. Santosh says, why do most people use JavaScript compared to PHP? First thing, PHP is hated by a lot of people. I don't know why. I love PHP. Don't judge me for it. Second thing, JavaScript uses a concept called as asynchronous IO, which makes JavaScript extremely faster compared to PHP. I tried putting a benchmark between PHP and JavaScript. I got like JavaScript is around 50 or 70 or let's say 100 times faster compared to PHP. That could be a real reason. And the problem with JavaScript is it is not evolved to be used in enterprise. It's just starting to get popular in the enterprise. I work for a bank, an investment bank, and also a commercial bank. And we have started using Express and Node for the backend purposes, but still we have the huge daemon Java backend running and saving all of us. So yeah, so it takes time to get everything sorted, because banks generally, they do not want to change anything. If it works, it works. That's it. Don't touch it. That kind of a thing. JS versus Python. Python is extremely good because JavaScript is in the second rank. I would love to stick with JavaScript because Python I tried learning. It doesn't go into my head. A lot of people have said Python is very easy to learn. So go ahead, check it out, Ritik. Python, if you know, you can start with machine learning, artificial intelligence, data science, etc. So don't miss it. JS versus Java. Java is shit. Get lost. Sorry about that. No offense for Java folks. I have got a lot of people who are my friends who are Java people, but unfortunately, just to write a single line of code, you write console.log in JavaScript, echo in PHP, echo again in Python. But in Java, you need to write public static void main string args class something system.out.println. For just one thing, you have to write 100 lines of code. I hate it. That's why. I agree with you, lovely Anand. A lot of people don't like Java. Okay. Cool. Python versus C++, I have no clue. C++ is completely in a different league. Okay. So to clone this thing, what we will be doing is we'll go back to VS Code, and I'm going to do one thing. I'm going to put my username here. Okay. So praveenscience@github.com. So this will change. In case if it is, let's say, Lovely Anand, who is going to clone my repository, it's going to be Lovely Anand, but this one will not change. So something like this. So the main reason why I'm doing this is to save myself from re-entering my password again and again. I lazy guy. That's why. So now when you click on the clone repository, when you click on this new button, you need to provide a repository URL, or don't click on this. Don't get to click on this. Use this one and press enter. So it will ask you where exactly you want to clone it. So I'm just going to give downloads, works, and I'll select this repository location. Once I do that, it says, you want to open the repository? It's been cloned. Yes, please. Now, this is where you would be using everything in your VS Code. You don't want any GitHub or anything because you can manage everything inside VS Code itself. So in terminal, if you want a terminal, you have the terminal here. So we'll be working on two things. One is Node and the package manager, npm and npx. So what is npm versus npx? Npx is a package executor. Sorry, Node package executor, and npm is a Node package manager. So Node is the runtime environment which we are using already, so that everyone knows. What is the difference between npm and npx? So if you want to do something in npm, you do, let's say you want to install WinZip in your computer. What do? You go to the website of WinZip, download it, download the setup file, double click on the setup file. It says next, finish. And then WinZip and works, it will be installed in your system, and you delete the setup file, right? So in similar way, you do npm install a package, then you run the package with some parameters in case, and then you uninstall the package. The package could be a setup package. Okay, in this case, it is a setup package. You need it only once. The same thing with respect to npx, you can do it with one single line. That's it. So here, again, how many of you are lazy? Lazy people, make some noise. So what we are going to do is, we are going to do the same thing here, where the package is going to be something called as create react app. And the parameters, we are going to install it in the directory called client, or maybe we want to install it in the current directory. So if you want to install it in the current directory, what are you going to do? Same thing, Santosh. I have never got the reason why people are hating PHP, unfortunately. Hey, can everyone say, is it going interesting or boring? Let me know. Interesting or boring? Couldn't see any. messages from anyone? Okay, interesting. Thank you. Feel free to tell me if there is anything, any boring part of things, we can completely get rid of it. Okay. All right, let's go a bit quicker. So we will be using something like dot for the current directory. And in case if you want to put a directory like client or something like that, we'll be using this one. So we'll be using a client directory here. So let me go back to my terminal and I'm going to do npx create react app and then use the client directory here. Okay. So once I do this, you see what exactly this does. So the first thing it does is it is going to create a new React app in this particular directory. So it first we asked for create React app, but it downloads something called as CRA template. Then CRA template is downloading React, React DOM, and React scripts. So this is kind of like a lot of packages are getting downloaded. So let's wait and watch what is happening right now. So it is going to download one by one everything. And this particular set of things, what is happening right now, it depends on your computer speed and your internet speed. Let me check my internet speed. Should be pretty good. Okay, it's 0 kbps. 28, 52, 63, 57. Yep, it's around like 50 to 60 mbps or 75. There's the problem with my internet. This is not a real number. What happens is there is something called as pinging. So it needs to ping quickly. It also shows sometimes 100 or 110. But if the ping speed is good, then it is good. Yeah, in India, 100 Mbps is very easy to get. It's just like 300 or 400 rupees per month. In the UK, for 100 rupees, sorry, for 100 Mbps, I need to pay like 3,500 rupees per month, 35 pounds or something like that. So yeah, India is better in that case. India is far developed in terms of technology, I would say. Only problem is like we are not getting enough job. Yes, it is bits per second, not bytes per second. Yeah, 100 Mbps is bits per second. So let's quickly go and see what is happening here. This is dead. I don't know what is happening here. Okay, let me quickly look at the YouTube side of things. Couldn't find anyone talking here. Anyone on YouTube right now? Yeah. Very interesting. Thank you. Hey, Bobby. Yes, Shubham. Yes, that's okay if it is unlimited. Yes, it is. It is exactly unlimited. I don't think we do have this fair usage policy FUP in India. So once you see this particular message, happy hacking, then it is completed. So you can do like npm start, npm run build, npm test, etc. on inside the folder. Do not try to attempt to do npm eject. So this is the final output that you would be getting here, and you would be having like 18 number of changes. There is a huge node modules. And what is this node modules? Node modules is where all the useless files are stored. So if you see the memes, you get like, see, heaviest object in the universe is node modules. So that's actually a funny way of describing what node modules is in a simple way. So sun is this much heavy, neutron star is heavier than sun, a black hole is obviously heavier than everything in the earth, but no, node modules is even heavier than black hole. That's the current scenario. Cool. So now we said that we have created the create react app. Every time when you do a change, try to commit it. Okay, so create a basic react app using CRA. We need to test it and run it as well, right? Let me first push this so that everyone can fork it. So I'm using a modified command, which is going to do git push -u origin master. That is what GP sub does. Okay, now once I do this, if I refresh this page here, you should be able to see everything on this page, right? So there is a client folder, and inside the client folder, you have all these commands as well. Cool. How to fix or hide audit vulnerabilities in React scripts? Unfortunately, you can't, bro, because NPM is the most vulnerable thing right now. People I would suggest you to use yarn instead of npm, but I'm a fan of npm, so I'd be sticking with the npm. Hey Shubham, nice to meet you. Santosh, thanks. Yes, so that is the main reason. Otherwise, I don't see a reason why you should not use npm. That is one problem with npm, unfortunately. So you got all these things. You can go ahead and fork it, start it, do whatever you want. So all the source code will be available there. So now coming back to our stuff, how do you run this code? So I'm not going to save this. Look at this for, oops, what is happening here? Cancel. Look at this for one last time. So I'm just going to, so this is, we saw what node is, node versus npm and npx. So we have got this package manager and all these things. Okay. So let me close this. Now to run this application, you go to the terminal again, and any kind of Node.js or JavaScript application, you do npm start. That was my fault. You should go into the client directory, right? Wherever the package.json is there you need to do the npm start. So I go into the client directory, I put npm start and wait for a bit. I lift my hands up. Okay. Boom. It automatically opens your browser and runs localhost 3000. And that is where the Webpack dev server lives. And then this is the basic start of React. Let's wait for another few more seconds. And I'll show you some more cool things. Okay, I do a lot of talking. I don't think we would be able to finish the whole full stack application inside this one, but this is a nice start for a React application. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put this on the right side and put this guy on the left side. Running front-end and back-end in the same port requires a API gateway management. You can use something like Nginx or something like that. And then you can do a proxy pass to both the ports. Let's say generally we used to run 3000 as the front-end, 5000 as the back-end port. And we can use Nginx or any kind of an API gateway to mix and match both the things. So anything that starts with /API will get forwarded to port 5000. Anything that starts with the normal thing will be going to the port 3000. It is called as API gateway. Let me quickly show you an example of an API gateway. We can show it here itself, right? I'll show you in images. So if you see here, look at this. When the user hits the API gateway, it can go to first microservice or second microservice or third microservice. In simple terms, you can go to one port or second port or third port. It is called as API gateway. So check that out. That is going to give you a lot of more information. Okay, first thing, what are we going to do with this thing called, so what is there in React? That is the main thing. So if you inspect the element and see in the console and refresh the page, you could see that there is something that might come and let's open this way. There'll be, oh, wait. I guess everything is in the default level. It will say, I'll show you what it says. Edit src/app.js and save to reload. Okay, so it is going to automatically reload everything for us. So instead of learn React, I'm going to say APAT and save it. I'm not doing anything else. It automatically compiles and then reloads on the right side. You could see that the one which you have selected doesn't change as well. So to that level, it is going to do it in a seamless way. If you refresh this page, the selection will go away, right? Refreshing will remove the selection. But even before that, the selection is still there and it has got it perfectly there. So if I discard the change, so immediately it becomes learn React. I couldn't find there will be something called as HMR, hot module replacement, and Webpack dev server. So you can see Webpack 5.67 got compiled here, etc. And that is something which I was telling. I wanted to show you that particular thing, but no, didn't work. So here we go. This is a basic introduction. How many of you will be sad if I say we will stop it here and I'm open to question and answers right now, or should we do something basically? Your wish. Yes, Santosh, 3000 is a port. The port numbers can be from 0 to 65535, and they could be, these are the things. Shall we just go ahead with questions and answers, or should we continue working on it? Because I don't think in 30 minutes we will be able to complete the whole full stack application. And GDSC team, can we have a part 2 on this? Amisha, what do you say? How was it so far? And should we have a part 2? Or
let the people in the chat box decide.
Definitely. Okay, so first thing, we are perfectly sure that we will not be able to do the full stack application. Part 2, part 3, part 4, wherever it takes. Okay. So what shall we do now? Should we continue working on it because we will not be able to finish it? Or instead of it, I can start answering your questions. Definitely a lot of people, at least a couple of people will be having questions related to what we did. Let's go for the question and answer, right? Go on.
Answer.
Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Yes.
Yeah, Praveen,
yes.
Just a second. We'll drop the attendance link for the certification. Okay.
Cool. Those people who are looking for the certificates, now is the time. Get the attendance link on the chat message and make sure you are filling it up. Or it's just for the certificates part from GDSC. So don't miss it. Yes, Shashi, Anurag, Jinka, Santosh, we will have a part 2. Sure. Done. Let's go for the question and answers. Please put your question and answers. And here's the certificate link as well. Okay, the first question is from Rakesh Vishwakarma. How can we link SQL databases with React? So React is in the front end and SQL is something totally big, like it is beyond backend. So in that case, okay, certificate is not important. Your experience is important. What you learned today is more important than certificate. Okay, so React, HTML, everything is front end. You cannot directly connect to a database because it needs to go via a backend or via a programming layer. So inside backend, you have database layer and the programming layer, application layer, which is a web server. So you can hit the web server. In turn, the web server uses the SQL specific driver to connect it, and that would work. So I guess there is another person who wants to comment on the video. I guess it is Pratyasha, right? You want to comment on the video or?
Sir, she would be coming at the end after the Q&A.
At the end. Let's add her as well in the call so that she is not left behind.
Sure, sir.
Okay. Is it okay, Pratyasha?
Yeah, completely fine.
Cool. You're on the YouTube stream now. Boom. So, hey, Pratyasha. All right. So that's the quick answer from my side. So you cannot directly link it, but you have to go through the backend. It could be Express.js, it could be PHP, anything. You can use even Python, and you have to connect to the database server. That way it is possible. Are JavaScript basics enough for React and Node? Yes. There is a website called javascript.info, which is really, really good. And just go with that. You will be able to learn JavaScript as a language. At the same time, you will be able to learn the advanced concepts like network calls and DOM manipulation. Everything is there in javascript.info in a very detailed way and very simple way. So that is something which I could say. Um, okay. Why to use Firebase when we have other hosting platform? What benefits does it provide? I guess Firebase, number one, it is free. It is backed by Google. And another thing is Firebase is a real-time database and it has got a lot of options like connecting with the Firebase database along with the Firebase thing. I haven't worked a lot with Firebase, so I'm not the right person to answer, but these are the main features of Firebase, why it is good or something like that. So we have got other questions. What is the use of WebSockets? Anything that is real time that could be leveraged using WebSockets. Back in those days, we have been using a concept called as long polling. So when you're working with chat applications are kind of real time, right? Whenever you don't need to refresh the page to get the latest information or anything that happens instantly, that happens instantly. So what happens in the back is when a web page loads a chat application, the chat application sends a request to the original server every single second. Have I got any messages? Have I got any messages? Have I got any messages? This technique is called as long polling technique. But this is not a good idea, right? So you keep polling the server every single second. What if you are able to establish a kind of like a permanent connection to the web server? That would be easier, right? So that's when WebSockets come in. They sense frames of data, and then that is far better than they don't come under the network HTTP requests. HTTP requests are costly compared to the WebSockets requests. So that is called WebSockets. And what is the thing about it? Best web resources of learning React. My YouTube channel. There are so many great resources. I would personally suggest WestBoss resources, WestBoss course of the beginner React. It is extremely costly for Indian students or Indian folks, including me. In case if you would like a kind of like a license or something like that, I can give up to 5 licenses for free. So whoever comes and asks me on LinkedIn, yes, you get it for free.
So we got a question in the chat box from Shubham, which says, if I get a domain and I had hosted a website already, then can I remake the website again from the scratch?
You can.
And delete the old one?
Totally, yes, that is possible. You have to just remove all the files and re-upload the files. That's it. And there is a question before that. J. Arya. Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's a question for the team. I guess someone answered that. JavaScript event loop. Hey, am I in an interview right now? Event loop is one of the most common questions that is being asked in any JavaScript based roles or something like that. And in simple terms, event loop is a huge backbone of Node.js and JavaScript. So what it does is, Node.js runs on asynchronous input output, right? So there is a huge function call or huge stack that takes in, or huge queue that takes in the events. For example, your browser events, your set timeout events, etc. So based on this, since JavaScript is a single threaded application, event loop is going to help you in managing every single thing, and then that helps you. So that's the main concept behind event loop. I really don't want to give out the complete answer, because whenever I'm recruiting people or interviewing people, I would be asking this question and I don't want them to copy this answer. That's the reason consciously I'm not giving out the main complete answer of event loop, because anyone who knows that, okay, Praveen Kumar Purushothaman is going to interview, like interviewer name will be given to them, right? So obviously my YouTube channel will come in, and I don't want them to get influenced by this. That's the main reason. Okay. Taking our own domain, can you discuss some benefits? Rakesh, if you are a developer, obviously you are a web developer, you need to have some kind of things associated with the web development thing, right? So a website is one of the basic requirements. Like, I won't say it is a basic requirement or something like that, but I would say that puts you in a different league, right? So you will be special compared to another person who is who doesn't have a website, right? So whenever you go to a company or something like that, you can just say, okay, go to rakeshvishwakarma.com and you would be able to see my portfolio and everything. And anywhere, any place, you can even make it into a QR code and tell it to others to express yourself. So that is an advantage, I would say. And one main thing is I'm getting a lot of offers from LinkedIn, offers from employers through LinkedIn by looking at my website. My website has got literally everything: how to contact me, my LinkedIn ID, my YouTube thing, what all things that I have been working on, etc. So that way you can also put whatever you want in your website. Website is your own space where you can put anything. So that way it is extremely helpful. What are all the basics? So Neha is asking, what are all the basic things we have to learn before getting into MERN? Basically, you need to know the web front end, which is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. The next thing is how to the next version of JavaScript, which is ES6, and then you can start working on React and Node. Whoops, we have lost Pratyasha. Pratyasha, what happened? Okay. What advice would you give to your juniors who are about to start their career in web development? Kanishk, nice question. If you like web development, consider if you want to go into front end or back end or full stack. If you're going into full stack, okay, great. Start with one particular thing. I would suggest going with front end if you are coming from a creative side of things. If you have zero programming knowledge or anything, go with back end, because that will help you out in achieving something. And then you can start with the front end, which there is a bit of a toughness there. And I showed you roadmap.sh, where you have got a lot of roadmap, like a complete roadmap of what you need to do first, next, etc. So that would be the best thing I would suggest. Sometimes learning JavaScript takes us more easiest path, how to build it efficiently. Rakesh, I would say practice is the main thing. So keep practicing. That will help you on doing things better. We have got Shubham Prashad asking this question. Hi Praveen, what is the best way to learn? What is best to use, React or Angular? If you ask me, I would say my personal favorite is React, because I tried learning Angular. I couldn't get anything into my head. And Angular's learning curve is extremely difficult compared to React. This is the common feedback given by a lot of developers. So a lot of people say Angular is tough, React is easy. I would say the same thing as well. That is my experience as well. Can we change the domain name once registered? It is like getting a samosa. Once you get it, it is yours. You have to eat it until it is expiring. So nope. But you can always buy another new domain. Can I link my website with a payment plugin that saves me a way more work? Yes, Shubham. Stripe is there, payment gateway, PayPal is there. A lot of other applications are there, Card Connect, etc. In India, there is Razor Pay, Pay You Money, something like that. A lot of people are giving you the easy way to like connect your application, your web application with their payment gateways. Each payment gateway has its own fees and etc. So just be aware of them. That's it. Sonal is asking, having our website, does it equal having Linktree? It's more than Linktree. In Linktree, we even built our own Linktree using GitHub pages and HTML, pure HTML, CSS, and Bootstrap within half an hour. Why to use Linktree when we have GitHub pages and our own domains for free? So whoever wants a domain for free to start your web development journey, talk to me, and I would also be happy to reach out to all those people who are extremely active during this time in YouTube and Zoom to give you a domain name for free as well next week. Cool. After a few days of programming, I lost interest. How to overcome it? It depends really on the person who is teaching you. Try to change the person who you are following from. There are a lot good YouTubers out there who are teaching it in a very awesome way, which you will fall in love. So check them out. Relevance of JSON. I'm extremely fat, others are thin. So comparatively, when data transfer happens, back in those days, we used soup, we used XML, etc. They are all fact data sets, whereas JSON is the slimmed version of XML. So that's something which I would say. And JSON is JavaScript object notation, which has 90% roots from JavaScript. So JavaScript and JSON, they go well together. Not only that, all the other applications and programming languages use JSON as a default way of transferring data, JSON and XML. A lot of developers will prefer JSON to XML because JSON looks simpler to understand, while XML is not that user friendly. For example, if I have the same data in both XML and JSON, if I give it to my dad who doesn't understand computers, he will understand JSON better than XML. As simple as that. Do we use data structures in development? Nope. Data structures is only used in India for just clearing out folks in when there is only 10 jobs are available. If you have 1,000 people who are applying for a job, to clear out 1,000 to 10, they are going to use data structures. They might even use what do you say? Build a robotic arm in HTML, something like that. Crazy questions will come. But after the interviews are over, you don't require data structures at all. I've been working in the industry for more than 15, 20 years, and never ever I used data structures in my life after the interviews. And even in interviews, if someone is asking me data structures for a front-end developer, I say bye-bye to the interviewer and the company, because they don't know what to ask to which person. So that's my take on data structures and algorithms, because almost all the data structures and algorithms are already built in your computer, and you're not going to reinvent anything new. And definitely, I'm pretty sure that I'm not that kind of an intelligent person to, like improvise the Dijkstra's algorithm or Quicksort or TimSort. There you go. React or Vue? React or Vue? React, obviously, because Vue uses model view controller. Have no clue about that. I come from a very lazy background, so React. I made a Spotify and Apple website homepage for practice. That's actually a good idea for others also to follow it. Try to see an existing website or web page and try to create a clone of it. That makes your learning easier. Can we, how to buy a domain name? I'm going to put a series on how to get domain name for free and also how to buy a domain name. So watch out in my YouTube channel. Make sure you hit the notification and subscribe so that you will get it. I know all the tasty benefits of having a website, but will buy my second as I guess. Okay, cool. React versus GraphQL. REST versus GraphQL. A lot of people have said GraphQL is awesome and better than REST. I haven't tried my hands on GraphQL yet. So let's wait for, I'm not the right person to explain the differences between REST and GraphQL. So I'll stick with REST because I know REST. I have no clue about GraphQL. Since I'm a lazy person, I would love to REST. DSA is for CP, competitive programming, not for development. Yes, kind of like that. But I don't understand who is going to use competitive programming or dynamic programming or DSA after you are hired. I haven't seen. If anyone who is there, please ask them to contact me. I'm really curious to know if they are in the work and they are using CP or DP or DSA in their work. I'm really curious to know. Data structures can snatch a merit, maybe, just for getting into the interviews. Yes, maybe. Just in India. DS web development, no relation. Exactly. Okay, cool. I guess we have answered almost all the questions. So, can I get some more likes in my YouTube video in case if anyone is happy to do that? So Sonal has got another question. Database management, which website suits best? Like easy to learn and go ahead. PGSQL is extremely popular. It's a bit tough. MySQL is very easy. All the databases are almost the similar way. I would suggest go with PostgreSQL. That is easier, better, faster. A lot of people are using it. Yes, Amisha and Pratyasha, go ahead. The stage is yours.
There are many techno-wise present here. So would you like to give any project example to us in order to go with our career?
Definitely. There is this particular repository which I have got. It's called Final Year Projects Repository. So check this repository. There are like loads and please handle with care. Don't just copy everything from this to your final year projects, which might be good, but at the same time, try to do something really awesome with this. There you go. You asked it, I answered it.
So, any more question, folks? Would you like to would you like to ask Praveen sir?
Any questions?
If there is any, you would drop in the chat.
Thank you so much, Shubham. That's great. Okay. What I wanted to do is I hate MongoDB in the enterprise. Not only me, a lot of enterprises hate MongoDB for its document-oriented database kind of a thing. So not many people will be using MongoDB for enterprise level applications. So most probably M is going to stand for MySQL, which is my personal favorite, or memory. I really wanted to do that, but unfortunately we did not have the time to do it because a lot of people here are extremely new to the whole development thing. A lot of people do not know HTML and CSS as well. So that's the main reason I wanted to stick with the basics, extreme basics. Very sorry about that, but definitely I'll try to do some short videos on learning something new. Watch out for it. There is a huge, there is a huge opportunity out there, and I'm also planning something new. Since I was in the hospital for a week's time, a lot of plans went cancelled. Sorry about that. So that's the reason. How can I contact you someday when I got to talk to you except YouTube comment? LinkedIn is the best way, or WhatsApp is the best way to contact me. Next.js is a full stack framework or React framework. Next.js is based on React. It is a full stack framework. Tell us about website security. We can have a huge application, like huge live stream, more than 2 hours to talk about web security because so many things are happening right now. OWASP, that is what you want to know. OWASP, Open Web Application Security Protocol or program, something. So check that out. They have a lot of vulnerabilities which you need to work on or something like that. Twitter works for me as well. So send me a message on Twitter. Which is better, React or Vue? I already answered Kanish Gupta. I would go with React, not Vue, because Vue is for model view controller people, MVC people. You can start for a bootstrap related MERN development. Sure, I can do that as well, Ritik. That's actually a good idea. So we can do it for part 2. Actually, this one was with MERN with bootstrap only, but unfortunately due to the time things and I was not able to do it. Santosh says, but during hiring the web devs, many companies in India are preferring the people who are clearing coding questions using DSN algo. Reject those companies, please. Seriously. Companies, if you're hearing, don't do that. It is bad. Hey, Shiromani. I have thought about doing a boot camp. Yes, Ritik. Plans are there. It is just that I want to improve my dialogue delivery and all these things. I'm very new to YouTube and very new to, like doing the video stuff. So I'll do my best. I'll soon release something like a free boot camp on full stack application development. Yes. How to increase the speed of website? There is something called as Lighthouse in your Google Chrome console, and that will actually help you out in understanding what are all the pain points, where exactly your website is getting slower, etc. And it also gives you a solution for it as well. Check that out, and that will be able to, you will be able to increase your website speed, loading times, etc. How to optimize performance in React application? React application basically optimizes everything in your code using Webpack. If you want to further optimize, as I said, you check out the Lighthouse, where it will say these are the places where you can optimize it. Manual optimization is what you need to do after React optimization does. When is the next session?
I think we are running out of time.
Yes.
People will ask you the question on the LinkedIn or wherever they want to contact you. You're always available to answer them.
Let's get 50 likes on my YouTube channel, please. Okay, fine. Yes, thank you so much for all the love that you have given. And last question, how good is React.js with TypeScript? I hate TypeScript. I hate Java, all the type languages. So I'm not the right person. But TypeScript, people are like, a lot of companies are moving towards TypeScript. I have no clue why. I would say bad for my perspective because I hate typed languages. Part 2 date, we will sure soon inform. So you have to ask these two people. Cool. I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you, folks. Thank you, everyone. I think we have reached the end to this session. And sir, it was very glad having you here. So I would like to hand over the mic to Pratyasha for the vote of thanks. Over to you, Pratyasha.
Thank you, Amisha. Good evening, everyone. As we have reached the end of this fascinating webinar, I, Pratyasha, take this golden opportunity to put my gratitude into words. First of all, on behalf of GDSC BITD Deoghar, I would like to extend my heartiest thanks to Honorable Guest Speaker, Mr. Praveen Kumar Purushothaman, for his presence in this webinar. Today's session was full of knowledge and interesting things. It gave deep insights into the topic and also revealed some interesting facts. Secondly, a big thanks to all the participants for devoting their time to this session. I'm sure you all would have gained a lot out of this enlightening webinar. So do register for our upcoming event on data structures by none other than the very renowned Mr. Abdul Bari sir on 10th February. The link for it is being dropped in the chat box. And kindly stay connected for more such exciting sessions. Lastly, I would also like to thank the whole organizing team who really worked hard to make this event successful. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks a lot for choosing me to be the speaker. Thank you. I guess we can switch off. So have a nice time. One last thing, stay home, stay safe. See you. Stay away from Corona. Bye.